I had a remote this weekend. A remote is a on-location broadcast.
And a personal appearance.
A personal appearance at Kia.
I had one too.
Kia.
On Saturday.
Kia. On Riverdale Road. And while I was there, friend of the program, Dan the driver, who texts in and calls, showed up. And he said, "Hey, Gina." And he's holding out his phone. And he said, "I want to show you something. It's a picture of us from 14 years ago."
That's an old phone.
When you were here, he said, just down the street on Riverdale Road. And I remember this.
Oh, you were dressed as a piece of bacon.
I am dressed as a piece of... Now the bacon costume, another friend of the program let me borrow her bacon costume. I don't remember why I was wearing
I can't recall the motivation.
Costume,
I don't.
But I was at another business on Riverdale Road in 2010, and young Dan the driver, came to see me there.
And now old Dan the driver.
And now, 14 years later,
he hasn't changed a bit.
There's if you go to x96.com/live, or I actually tweeted a picture of it too, but I thought it was so cute, and he said, "I still listen every day. I've been listening since then."
You know, the same thing happened to me at my remote. Not a guy with me as a piece of bacon, but Luis, you remember Luis?
Yes, our Spanish language teacher.
Yes, he came to my remote and brought me a bottle of rum and said, here's a bottle of rum. It's from a local distiller, and I can't remember the name of the distiller now. It's not one I heard of. Here's a bottle of rum for you, and I still listen to the show every day and tell Carrie and Gina hello from Luis. He's been listening for like 27 years. He came from L.A., 27 some odd years ago. He said, I listened to K-Rock down there, and I tried to find something like K-Rock, and I found you guys.
I also had our friend of the program, Sketchy Blake, brought his daughter, Dawson, and she had her yearbook with her. And she said, "Will you sign my yearbook?" And I'm like, "Well, sure." And we have these new, if you go to x96.com/live, you can see we have these new tiny X96 stickers. They're like the size of your thumb. And I'm like, "Oh, perfect. I'll put one of those in your yearbook. And sure, I'll sign your yearbook." And I signed it for her. But it made me think that next year, it's probably too late this year, but maybe next year at graduation time.
Do people throw away their yearbooks?
Well, no, it's just kind of, we should have done it a week or two ago if we were going to do it. But we should have a yearbook signing, a radio from where we broadcast from somewhere, and everybody can bring their yearbooks and we can sign them.
I think it's a great idea.
Right now is the best time to do that.
Oh, sign the yearbook.
I'm guessing sign yearbooks. All the students just either recently got the yearbook or getting them this week in the Salt Lake District.
I just think we don't have time to put together
When we can set something up.
An event. If we plan ahead next year, we can have it ready to go.
At this time next year, we're going to be fighting for our lives.
Oh.
So that's right.
We won't have time for that.
We won't have time for that.
We may not have a venue.
Exactly.
Or a microphone.
Yeah. So if you want to do that, if we could throw something together here in a month.
Let's see if we can get together a yearbook signing event.
This would be the time to do it.
Let's see if we can find a client who wants to host that, and we'll do a yearbook signing.
Doesn't matter the year, just any yearbook.
Any yearbook,
yeah.
sure.
Bring it out, we'll sign it.
Yeah.
And it'll all be the same.
And it'll be a piece of history.
Have a cool summer. See you next fall.
Yeah. Don't get in too much trouble this summer.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Don't do what I would. What is it? Don't do anything I would.
No, I wouldn't do. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Yeah.
See you in English class.
Yeah.
You put your phone number in. You'll call me sometime.
Mr. Renault sucks, huh?
Let's go to Lagoon sometime this summer. I'm going to get my high school yearbooks out and just
see what people signed in them.
Yeah. I'm sure they were very pithy comments, philosophical comments of all sorts.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. I do remember many people saying, "Don't get too drunk this summer."
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And it still applies.
It does. Don't get too drunk this summer. We expect you to get drunk. Just don't get
drunk
too
enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't get too drunk.
You know, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we could come up with a Radio from Hell yearbook, like with events that we've done over the year and with pictures. And is that
Well,
asking
like
too
I
much?
said, in a year from now, we're going to be fighting for our lives.
Okay.
So
So maybe not.
Steph says she'll bring her yearbook from 91.
Perfect.
Terrific.
We'll sign it.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's some empty space in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
There's no space in mine.
No, oh, you're
Oh,
very
I-
popular.
Ve-
Very popular.
Man, it was a weird feeling. I remember sitting there wondering, are people going to come and sign my yearbook?
Oh,
Well, they did, but it's, you just kind of wondered if they would.
well, you have to go up to them and then you trade. You're like, I'll sign yours and you sign mine.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I remember Scott Hallowell traced the outline of a popsicle stick and then said, "This is the outline of a popsicle stick. Have a good summer."
The hell?
There was a lot of drugs floating around my school.
Don't do too many drugs
that
over the
time.
summer.
Yeah.
May your life be like toilet paper, long and useful.
Now we're getting yearbook sayings.
Why will you be fighting for your life in a year? Well, it'd be one of two things or two things at once.
Well, just think about
Enjoy
it.
every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember I never liked Alan Logue,
Did he write in your
and
yearbook?
he wrote in my yearbook some terrible things.
Oh,
And then he can't understand why I
he wrote terrible
He
things.
made-
in your
and then he
yearbook?
and then he can't understand why I hold that against him
To this day.
to this day. Why would you write these things in my yearbook?
Now I want to know what they say. Okay, not nice. I don't like him.
Never liked him.
You
But
smell funny.
Somehow he got my yearbook. I did not give it to him.
Oh,
It just happened.
jerk.
And then I hear down the road, why is Carrie holding that against me? Because you're a dick. That's why.
My guess is his life isn't going well.
I
right
hope
now.
it's not.
I don't.
Hey, Alan, I hope you have children.
I don't hold anything against anybody that I went to high school with, but that's mainly because I don't remember them.
Exactly.